Well, good afternoon, welcome to VP4TV. It's an early start today, this Friday. We've got a one-loss side match in the Virtual Black Ball World Championships. Well, it's lined up. We've got Cobra here, he's been getting practice in. I don't see Bankster though. I don't see him listed at all, so the room is about to go up. Welcome to Bill. Good morning to Bill. Welcome to LS3. Now we may or we may not have a match. The Bankster does also have this habit of turning up at the last minute, but he's cutting it fine in terms of before the room goes up because it's already gone up. Cobra's going in. And it might be one of these short live streams. Still no sign of him. Now, thinking about where Bankster is supposed to be from. Now, is that him arriving in the lobby there? No, that was just a pop-up for a tournament. He's supposed to be from what do you call it? What's the name of that place over in the Middle East? No, I can't think of it. I can see the flag, but I can't remember what it's called. So he'd be about at least 4 hours in front of me. Yeah, Kuwait, that's right. Ah, there he is, he's arrived, so let's get in. And we're just in time, we're waiting on a queue appearing though. And we've got Bankster on the right, Cobra on the left, and now Cobra on the far side as we look. And it looks close, but Cobra's going to win it. Bankster's going to win it. Right, race to 11. And straight away it's dry. Now, let's have a quick look at these. Well, I think it's got to be yellows, to be honest with you, because all of the yellows can be got at one way or another a lot easier than what all the reds can be, because these reds here are a problem, but if you look at the yellows here and you play that one, you can get that one. These are all available, so it was a fairly straightforward choice for Cobra there. Hopefully I'm coming through loud and clear. And again, just to let you know, I've got my second monitor up and running, and Cobra's missed a yellow, which is a bit of a surprise. Although I think he's pretty much got away with it. He's not left anything simple for Bankster. Yeah, I've got my second monitor up. I think from the 2 or 3 live streams that I've done since, I think I can come to the conclusion that everything seems to be okay now in the computer. It looks as if I've found what the issue was. And straight away Cobra's back in, and nothing's really changed. And again, Cobra's missed again. What the hell's happened with Cobra today? He's been in practicing for goodness knows how long now. He can't get a ball in the pocket. Well, Bankster's this is him get a second chance here. And Cobra's lifesaver is that yellow that's over that top right hand corner pocket. But if Bankster can drop down somewhere up onto that middle yellow of the 3 up in the top right, well, he's hit that way too hard for a start. What I was talking about, or trying to talk about, was getting here to play that red, because if he can get that red at a certain angle, he could maybe bump the 8 ball and the red into more open play. But well, we'll see. And that's not going to get there either. So it's a bit sloppy here, it has to be said. And Cobra's not impressed with his own efforts. And Vinces has arrived in the room. Somebody tell him we're doing a live stream. Vince says it's probably one of these guys that's never subscribed to any of my channels. I'll need to put a stop to that. Well, sooner or later somebody's going to start potting enough balls to win this rack. And, well, that red, I don't know that it's not good enough to stop the yellow getting in. Oh, wait a minute though. That double kiss there. Yeah, this is not great. I mean, he can pot the yellow that's over the pocket. There's no doubt about that. But can he get the cue ball out of there to get on the next yellow? Because this is a bit unsure in terms of how this cue ball is going to react here. Well, it's still dodgy. He's going to have to dink this yellow in and maybe play a bump, maybe spin this with a bit of left English to try and bump to the 8 ball or one of the reds. No, he's playing it dead weight. He's managed to hold it. I thought he would have to maybe let it run. But everything's good. I still don't understand why Bankster didn't try to get this cue ball down there, because it could have been a different rack if he had done. So eventually Cobra's got out. And that of course was against Cobra's break as well, so not the start that Bankster wanted, but I don't think he started going about it the right way though. And immediately he has a chance here to redeem himself. Yellows look good. How about the 8 ball though? That's the problem. Got to, I mean, if you're going to take yellows, what did he take there? He's took yellows. Now if you're going to take yellows, there's your major issue. The yellow does go, and he might be trying for a bump here. He's got to try for a bump here because he's got an angle to do it, and if he doesn't do it, it's a big fail if he can't see what he has to do here. Well, he should have took the one on the side. Well, I think that was a great chance for Bankster if he'd went about it the right way. He still might get another chance because Cobra's reds are not sitting great at the top end of the table. And now, I noticed Larry about an hour and a half ago signed up for Friday night 9 ball, so he's making sure he's in this week. He was too late last week. It was already full at an hour before the tournament started, so he's made sure this week. Well, that actually might not be too bad how it's finished. I don't think there'd be any harm in Cobra getting that red out of there and playing a safe. You know, he'd probably leave Bankster a shot, but I think it's still a tall order for Bankster to get out of here. I think Cobra would do the right thing getting that away and leaving it open. Because where the red's sitting doesn't actually make a great deal of difference. Bankster can easily obviously pot the yellow over the corner pocket and still get to them, so I don't think Cobra had any value in keeping that red ball there. I think he should have got it out of there. Well, that's now at least freed up the 8 ball, and Cobra's got control of the bottom left hand corner pocket. And now Bankster is going to start potting balls. And he's going to have no shot other than a bank on the 8 ball. Oh, you did? Welcome to Vince says. Yeah, but you can obviously watch anything that you miss is on, particularly these tournaments. I mean, this tournament's got a playlist for it, so any recorded matches or any live stream matches I've done, they're all on the playlist anyway, so you can watch them at any time. Welcome aboard. So Bankster still potting balls, and well, he had the idea there of getting that 8 ball. If he hadn't hit the red, he might have got it. Well, that was the right thing to do, to stop potting balls, because this 8 ball's going to remain there as long as Cobra's in charge. Well, you wouldn't be saying that if you were here right at the start, Albie. I think Cobra missed 2 balls in a row. But Bankster already can't take advantage of the opportunities that he's had. He hasn't made good use of the opportunities he's had. Well, that would be impressive, yeah. 15-0 would be a good score in a race to 11, yeah. Albie's obviously got out the wrong side of bed this morning. Now, clearly what Cobra doesn't want to do is to move that, well, he's moved it closer to the rail. He certainly doesn't want to bring it out unless he has the opportunity to do so, but it's pointless doing that when his red is dead on the rail up top. So what's to stop him cutting this red into the side and trying to run into them? You know, well, that's actually pretty good, because he's given himself a bigger target now. Sooner or later, Cobra's going to have a shot and maybe that red into the side pocket, and he's going to go for a bump to clear that pocket. And Bankster's going to fall straight into the trap here. He's that lucky. Well, Bankster now has been put in a hole, because now he can't get to that yellow at all. And Cobra's just waiting in the opportunity where Bankster's going to make a mistake and Cobra's going to have an angle. I mean, he'd have to hit this hard, and he'd have to hit it really accurate for that to go in to move these, so that's not the time to do it. But that's what's going to happen. He's going to get himself good one way or another, and that's almost got it. It's still hanging on, because as soon as that yellow disappears, Bankster disappears as far as this rack goes. So again, he's not good. Yeah. He can just run up and duck in behind that red up top. Yeah. As long as he gets to a rail. Oh, this is a bit too soft. Is it going to get there? Is it going to get a rail? Well, that's a big, big mistake. But what does Bankster do? Bankster's got a free shot. The 8 ball sitting there. He wants to play the 8 ball up table. That's the right thing to do. He needs to play this hardish though. He doesn't want to leave it lying there. See, that's no good. That's no good. I mean, the worst thing that could have happened there is the 8 ball went across there and knocked them in. He hasn't got it out of there. Well, Cobra's still the favourite at the moment as long as that 8 ball stays where it is. And again, Bankster at best is going to have a bank. And that red in the middle of the table is the problem. Well, he's okay, he's fine. Bumped into the other one, so it's all on the bank. If it doesn't go in, he's losing the rack. And the inevitable is going to happen. Well, Bankster's going to be breaking in rack number 3, and he really needs to come up with the goods in rack number 3. He's got to have control of it and make something of it if he's going to settle in this match, because if he doesn't, it's going to run away from him rather quickly. Well, would you believe it? I mean, Cobra has, and that's about the third miss that Cobra's done so far. I've never seen him miss as many balls. And he's gifted it to Bankster. What a shock that was. I mean, there's no way you'd think he could lose that, but again, getting caught out with these pockets and the pace of the ball going to the pocket. And Bankster unexpectedly pinches the rack at the end of it all. And look at this table. This table's beautiful. I mean, this is really inexcusable if he can't get out here. It's got to be yellows. Well, I don't know if he's going to use 3 cushion as an excuse. I mean, these are just straightforward pots at the end of the day that he's missing. Well, Bankster's got to get good on that yellow in the middle of the table. It doesn't go past the 8 ball, I don't think. No way. So he's got to get good on that. And that, if it slows down, well, he's the wrong side of it. Which now means that there's a problem, because he's got an awful lot of yardage to go, even in a table this size, where he's going to be able to not only see one of those other yellows, but actually have a pot on it. You'd think he's got to try and get to the middle of the short rail up top, and of course he's trying to force things, and now suddenly, well, he's got a lifeline. At the moment he does, but Cobra with ball in hand can certainly open up the 8 ball, but he's also going to try and probably draw back and bump into the red and yellow. Maybe he isn't. No, he's played the bank on the yellow. That was wiser. And again, from having a great table, and this is where the players who do move the cue ball better are always going to win. It's as simple as that. You know, Bankster had to, in fact, he missed the pot anyway into the side, but he had to get that cue ball to the middle of the top rail in that gap to give him a chance to get down table, but he clattered straight into a red. So, had he been able to execute that shot better, he might have had a run out there. But it was a great opportunity, but it's gone. Although not quite, because that red on the side rail there is going to be the major problem. Just below the side pocket on the left as we look. That isn't going anywhere fast. So Bankster might not be quite dead yet. Welcome to Coldest Pillow. It's an early start today. It's 9 AM Eastern. Well, it's just gone that now, obviously, but 2 PM in the afternoon here. Beautiful day in this part of Scotland. Blue sky, but a bit chilly. And Cobra, well, he's going to have to, I think he's going to have to just take his medicine and leave the bank on this red. I don't think he's got much of another opportunity unless he thinks he could drop into the gap between the 8 and the red itself. Well, he could try and find a line to come down and bump onto the 8 ball here. This is tricky, but he has an opportunity where he could do that. And that is pretty good. He's bumped to 8. Would have liked to have hit that fuller to give him a sort of straighter roll in the 8 ball on the red. And that's going to hold the line just. That's a good out for Cobra. That was the problem, red, but he got nicely on the one into the side to give him a line to get down there for it. And he regains the lead. Again on Bankster's break. I was looking at one of the long-term forecasts on YouTube. There's loads of them. And the one I watched yesterday was talking about a snowstorm going through Central Europe, but it was showing like the pattern for like the weeks ahead into December, saying that it's going to get pretty cold, and that's going to head over our way into the UK. We'll see if that pans out. I mean, we're talking about, you know, 3 and 4 weeks in the future. They're talking about wintry weather. Well, Cobra really should be 3-0 in front right now, let's be honest. Well, this 8 ball is going to be tricky to get to, depending how he chooses to get out of here. Where's the hell's my buttons gone to? Hang on a minute. Let's have a look at this. Is he going to try and have a bump right now to try and bump that yellow that's just there? Well, he's bumped to 8. I mean, I suppose you could say it's slightly better than where it was. And the only other thing is he's snookered in his 2 open reds on the left, so he's forced into playing the other one. Yeah, YouTube is the one with the longest delay. I'm sure YouTube could improve that. I mean, why is it Twitch? I mean, they're both based in the States, aren't they? YouTube and Twitch. And Twitch's turnaround is so good, and YouTube is so bad in comparison. You know, you think they could improve that. I suppose it just depends where the servers are. I'd imagine that they're sending a signal over here to somewhere over here, but obviously YouTube aren't paying as much money as Twitch are to get a better one. Well, he's got a shot in the 8 ball. It's not great, but at least he's got a clean shot at it. And he's got it clean. And now he's got the gap. Pressure on Bankster. And Bankster looks dry. And Cobra may well be taking the yellows here. Yeah, there's a slight problem here with this shot because the yellow that he's near to cut into the corner pocket, he's going to bump into stuff. And he's just trying to duck away. And that isn't a bad idea, again, because he's left absolutely nothing for Bankster. He can see one red. And the cue ball's leaked away. And straight away Cobra gets his reward. The mistake made by Bankster. Those two yellows up top, they're not really set as a combo. The one's further out from the other. But he should be able to get it dealt with. He just doesn't want to bump that back yellow in towards the red because then he might not have a shot. He's still okay. Now, that 8 ball, there's a big problem here with the 8 ball, because even if you get rid of them and at some point you end up playing this yellow, first of all you can't leave a great angle in the yellow, because then you've got to push this yellow in to get the cue ball out, and where the 8 ball is actually slightly worse now because he's bumped it and he's stuck it on the red pretty much. So the only place that 8 ball goes, and he's trying to get a hit there, he's missed that, and now he's got no shot. I mean, he can kick the yellow in, he can have a go at that if he wants. So no doubt Bankster will be coming back at the table. I was going to have a look from this side on that 8 ball. See, that 8 ball will go. And you're going to have to play a cut on it if you do. Well, that's a good shot though. Well, what does Cobra do? Does he fully commit here? He knows it only goes into one pocket, that 8 ball, and getting on it's not going to be easy. But he will make sure he leaves an angle, probably inside if he can, inside nearer the rail. No, he's looking at it. He's trying to hold it inside. It's a bit. I think he might get away with that, but this has got to go in pure and clean so he can get across to be able to play the cut. That's where he wants to be, somewhere over here. Yeah, that's as best as he can get. You know, at least he can get to it. And it does go. And this is why Cobra is always going to win this match, because he's going to be far better standards at moving the cue ball than what Bankster is. And that was well done. And of course it's back to Cobra's break. He's got balls in. Now, what do you decide on here? I mean, he can play the yellow into the side. The yellow goes past the red into this corner. If he plays the reds, he's got one problem red to get to. The one behind the yellow to the left of the 8 ball. But he's only got one ball up there that can help him get to that red. And he may well be trying to open that up right now. Maybe a wee bit of check on it just to get some sort of bump. And he's okay, and now he's good to go. No excuse now, Cobra. But this is the difference between... It's a simple difference. The simple difference is, you know, Cobra, like most good players, is thinking about what he's doing. Half the players that play VP4 aren't really thinking about what they're doing. They're not on the ball as to where they have to try and improve things as soon as they can, and they then struggle to get out. The better players are better at moving the cue ball, but also it's at finding their way out by dealing with an issue very early on, like Cobra just done, and now he can only give the rack away. Yeah, you're supposed to think, Spud Boy. As soon as you start thinking when you're playing this game, it becomes a completely different game. I'm not talking about just this game, I'm talking about VP4 in general. It's amazing what thinking does when you're actually playing. You become a lot more successful. I haven't refreshed my stream and I haven't bothered counting the delay there because I know it'll be pretty... Right, he's just hit the ball 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got an 8-second delay. Well, it's a wee testy cut. He's got it in. And, well, it's a long road back already for Bankster. He needs balls to go in. And he's still not got one. 8 balls tied up. And a bit of a dilemma here for Cobra as to where he goes. More than likely yellows again, I would think. And also, if he can get down here somewhere or other, he's got 3 options here to try and get a bump on that red and 8 ball. So that's definitely what he's going to be thinking about. He's already thinking about that. How can he get himself up here in such a way where he'll give himself that choice and that option just to get the bump? He's a bit straight in this yellow here. He's going to have to just get this rolling through. Now, is it missing the red? Has he got the angle? No, he hasn't. He's too straight. But that, if that cue ball had gone to there, he would have been home and dry. So that's him, and he's had one go at it. Now he could have another go at it if he opens that pocket and plays it right to try and leave it short on the yellow to get the breakout. But he's keeping that there as a guard at the moment. He might be able to do it off this one, I don't know. Now, there you go. I think he can just cut that in gentle and catch the 8 ball. Why is he looking at the other way? Is he going to run forward and around? I thought he could do it off that one. Why doesn't he just cut that gently? All you need to do is brush the 8 ball and open it up. Is he trying it off this? He's having a look around. Well, I can't see why cutting that. Is he maybe worried he's going to miss the 8 ball? Maybe that's what it is. Good afternoon to Semi-Pro. Well, I'm a bit surprised he's not. Maybe it's because he doesn't think. Yeah. Well, if he, the only thing he could end up doing is hooking himself on a yellow there, but he's bound to still be able to see these two yellows, and there's a possibility of still seeing that. But if he's going to try and win the rack, he's going to run out of opportunities to get to that. Well, he managed to do it off it, but he's actually put it back to where it was. Now, and the reason that's happened is because that second ball that he played got him a fuller contact than the 8 ball, and it just went straight to rail and back. If he'd played that one, right, and caught that thinner, he would have just probably brushed it to the rail. So I'm going to say my idea was slightly better for getting the 8 ball open. But you're never guaranteed anything when you start playing breakout shots. But at least Bankster's not going to be running out here. That's one thing there's no doubt of. If that was me, I would have played it. Simply because, well, I think the only doubt was whether I was going to get it or get it, you know, not get it at all. And the second ball that he did play, okay, he got it. Maybe you could say he was unlucky that it went, you know, full in the face and straight to the rail and back where it was, more or less. But that's why, well, that's a foul. That is a foul. Well, here's another gift by Cobra for Bankster. He's got to take ball in hand here, hasn't he? Or is he going to try and play the free shot? No, he's taking ball in hand. I thought he was on that yellow there. Why did he study the table long enough there? Why didn't he play the yellow and bump the 8 ball that way with his free shot? I don't know. Of course, with a free shot you can pot any ball. You don't have to pot your own ball with a free shot. Is Bankster aware of that? Because right now the 8 ball's still tied up. Gilt edge opportunity to pinch the rack. Well, I think Bankster's got a chance to try and duck in behind those 2 reds right now off his other red. He's not doing it. He could have buried Cobra there and hoped for another free shot, and he didn't do it. And well, now he's good. He had the angle. He's run into the 8, and everything's well. He can only throw this away, can't he? He's been given a gift here by Cobra. He's got the bump, and everything's all good now. Oh, well, just as well he got enough of that. He's okay. And it's going back to Cobra for the break. So the 2 racks that Bankster's got has been from mistakes by Cobra at the end of the day. Bankster wouldn't have anything on the board here if Cobra hadn't missed. Simple as that. And it should be 7-0 at the moment. Right, while this rack is just underway, I'm just going to tab to check the 3 cushion, because there has been a match arranged. Needless to say, I won't be there for it. If we look at the bracket, in fact I think there's 2 matches. We've got the Cobra Cerro match on Saturday at 12 noon. That sounds like a more reasonable time for a Cerro, because he's obviously about 7-8 hours in front of us. So that'll be like 8 PM his time. It's 12 noon my time on Saturday, and I should be there for that. Fast Eddie, in their 3 cushion match, they go ahead at 2 AM in the morning on Saturday morning. So that match will be over before this one, and obviously I need to hope that Slim's going to be around to catch that. But I will be there for the Cobra Acero match. I'm looking forward to that on Saturday. But meanwhile, Cobra with the break. It's a break and run. Well, that's been the first good rack that Cobra's had in the match as far as been comfortable and running the table. Now this table is pretty good here for Bankster. It's just simple. You've got to run out. There's no other option. You've got to be getting out here, Bankster. Now if you're going to play the yellows, that red that's in the way of that one that he's just bumped is going to be the problem. Now he's got the yellow down the rail on the right side, which would allow him to kill the cue ball and play that yellow that's to the left of the 8 ball. Does he want to dink this dead weight? I think it's the only way he can hold the cue ball there. He's trying to jab this in a wee bit. Yeah, he's held it. He's held it well. That's the problem ball dealt with. Oh, now it needs to stop. He's good. Well, according to LS3, I don't know whether LS3 is still there, but LS3 said I think she'd sent proposals, but she's not had any response from them, which always worries me. That's where I've always had my doubts that Chico's, you know, we all want to see him playing, and I'm just worried that he's not necessarily going to stay here for the full tournament. It's always a doubt I've got in the back of my mind. So that was a good rack for Bankster. Maybe he'll settle down. But of course the break goes straight back to Cobra. He's got a ball. And it's, well, the one problem obviously, the red and yellow tied up. Well, Bankster was well overdue getting something decent, wasn't he? To get him settled a wee bit. Now, it's Cobra. Let me have a look. Aye, he's a bit the wrong side of this red, but he could try and still go forward and try and bump the red and yellow, but he's not playing that. He's maybe looking for an angle. Well, that's a bit more than comfortable, that red into the side, so he's still got the red there to break these. That's not going to be a problem as long as he gets good on it, and he couldn't have any better opportunity than now. He's just going to roll that up the table and leave himself the angle on this red to get the bump. You don't want to start on that at this time of day, Coldest Pillow. You'll be unconscious before the afternoon's over. Now, obviously, This is just got to roll through to a comfortable line, and that'll do. So no matter what Bankster does, he has to rely on getting either more help from Cobra or Cobra's dry break and Bankster running the table. There's no other way he's going to get back into it. Black Friday Black Label. Well, on paper you would always say Cobra will win, but if you watch this for the start, you see the mistakes that Cobra made early on, and Bankster never capitalised on them. Bankster should have another 2 racks on the board right now. It should be 5 apiece. So Bankster's break has come up dry, which is the worst case scenario. Now this is going to... Is it going to sneak out the back of that yellow, or is it going to catch it? Doesn't matter, he still should be okay. He's brushed it. He's moved it into a slightly more awkward position though. We need to go up and have a look here. Well, it goes into the side, so he'll probably take it now once he pots this one. Maybe not. Now he's not got a ball where he can get to that yellow comfortably. So I don't know what his thinking was there. I don't know why he didn't play the yellow into the corner and then get rid of that one, because that's the one he's going to have trouble with. And, well, he's going to be forced into taking it on then. Cue Balls wants to run into the red. If he does nothing. Now, he's good as far as potting that yellow's concerned. This is tricky though. Now, can he get out of there clean without catching that red? And that's why he's cutting into the pocket to avoid it. Or he's looking at cutting it into the pocket, but now he's back. I think he's avoiding it. Well, now it's anybody's guess as to how this is going to end up. He's going to catch the 8 ball. The 8 ball's going to go that way. Where's the cue ball going to end up though? Is he going to be able to see the 8 ball? Because that's the worry with this shot. And then he doesn't want to hit it too hard in case he knocks the 8 ball dead onto the top rail or something. He's trying to jab off it to avoid it and play it into the same pocket or up table if he's got a pocket to go in. He's good now, except he's hampered slightly. She's still testy. I think he's going into the side, and that is going to be good. Well played. So it's an 8-3 lead. And Cobra has a yellow in. Now, he could choose the yellows from the one up top. Problem's the yellow in the side rail. If he plays the one up top, then he would have to go high to cut that, or leave it there so that he could play that one to get to it into the corner. That's the problem. Yellow there, as well as this yellow here, if he commits to the yellows. And the reason he's going to commit to the yellows is unless he cuts that red into the side and starts running the cue ball. And then anything can happen. No, I'm still here. I was blowing my nose again. Well, when Cobra goes back to look at this video, if he looks at this rack, he'll see how much of a hash of it he's made. Bankster's not making a great job of it here either. Bankster's still odds-on favourite to win this rack, and if he doesn't, he's got to ask himself a question. I mean, Cobra's got heavy odds against him getting out here. Bankster's got an easy combo. If he comes down onto this red that's above the yellow that's in the short rail here and takes that and holds for the cut in the red up table, he can knock the red in over the pocket up table. So, you know, this isn't really a problem red as long as you play the table right. So Bankster now at the table, he doesn't want to play this red simply to start potting balls. That was probably the right move, because that's now got his problem ball. The slight problem ball is now dealt with, and Cobra is going to have a tall order to get out. He does have a chance though, because the 8 ball goes, and like I said, there's no way Cobra should have won this rack or win it. And he hasn't got across far enough, because I think he was trying to get there to play the cut combo. Yeah, he's still doomed. He's still doomed here. Unless he can nick this in. And this is tricky. I mean, that is... That's frozen to the rail. As frozen as you're ever going to get it. But he's got the angle though. Yeah, so difficult. So difficult. And he wouldn't have had a shot in the 8 ball at the end of it. Well, this is it now for Bankster. Cue ball running loose. Now, did you want to leave that yet? That red over the pocket is the one to get on the 8 ball. He may well do. But he wants to be playing that red with a little cut or something into the pocket so that he can get out comfortable onto the 8 ball. He doesn't want to have that red straight in. So he's getting rid of it now. But now the problem is getting back onto the 8 ball. It looks straightforward enough. And he's overcooked it big time. Way too much. And he may well end up losing the rack. This is dicey. Oh, he's in a good effort at it. And what does Cobra do? Does he try and get the yellow to follow the 8 ball? Would that still be legal? The 8 ball goes in first, surely that's a foul. He would win the rack if the 8 ball goes in first and then that yellow follows it in. Seems a strange... Yeah, the yellow has to follow. Well, I don't think he's got much option, has he? He's got to have a go at it. It doesn't look all that bad from this distance. It looks bad from here, though, doesn't it? I mean, he's got to have a go at it. But I think it's strange that you can legally pot the 8-ball with the yellow, and as long as the yellow falls in, it's a legal shot. I think that's a weird one. Well, knowing Cobra's luck, he could give this yellow a good kick. But the chances are if he kicks it from behind, he's going to knock the 8-ball in. And that would be a foul if the yellow doesn't go in. And he doesn't, I mean, the best result he could get here is a stalemate, isn't it? Well, he almost got jammy. Almost got it. Well, the result in that rack's gone the way that it always should have gone. It took a while though. So Bankster's back to within 4. But once again, Bankster can't back it up. He can't get a ball in the break. Those two reds are a simple combo along the rail on the right hand side. There won't be any worry about the red going in there. That's simple. The question is though is whether Cobra likes that idea, because this yellow isn't going anywhere. Let's see if we can dink the red along the top rail. Oh, now he's got a problem, because he's nicked the other yellow. It's caught that one and pushed it onto the two reds. So now the one chance he still has is cutting that red and chipping the yellow. He might end up getting a double kiss and leaving the yellow there, but he's going to be thinking about that. It encouraged slaps. Well, no value in playing the combo here with those two reds, other than just to stay at the table. That might kill his opportunity for a possible breakout. Well, he's going to do it now. I think he's a bit straight though. I think he's a bit straight. He's trying to he's looking at maybe sending it into the left hand side of the pocket and trying to chip something to bump stuff out the way, or is he trying to come across this way? That doesn't look good either. Well, this is sort of last chance saloon here for Cobra in this rack, in terms of getting this problem dealt with. Well, that's better than what it was. Got to get into this spot once he clears this red to play that cut. And the chances are the 8 balls going into this side pocket or down into this corner pocket, because if he plays the cut and that ends up in the last ball, it's a delicate one to come across with the cue ball. Now, does he play it now? Because even then, that's tricky. And this is tricky, potting that and still having a shot in that one, so he might be going for a bump again here. All or nothing. Well, it's still very dodgy, but the 8 ball's got to go into the side or up table. And that's perfect. That's perfect. So Cobra stretches the lead again, just making sure Bankster doesn't get any encouragement. And of course again it's on Bankster's break. So nothing's gone right for Banks in the break the whole match. I think I can barely remember him getting a ball in. Anything I've seen him breaking, I don't recall any. Cobra, two balls in the break again, and everything's really sort of, it's a bit congested up the top, but they've all got a gap between them. I think those yellows, obviously the red that's near the yellow up there, he's just trying to bump something to open things up, and that'll do it. That will work. He's got the bailout yellow down table here, which isn't, it's a bailout if he had to use it, but what it is though is a problem if he's going to try to get to the 8 ball. That's the problem. He doesn't want to leave this yellow hanging over the pocket too long. So I can only think, I mean, where's this 8 ball going to go? It's not going into the corner. It's not going into the side because you can't really get there for it into the side. I don't know what he's going to do here. This is anybody's guess where this is going to end up. Well, that's better now, because now pot the yellow, hole for the 8 ball if he's got the angle, and that isn't it. Now, can he come across and miss the 8 ball and come over this side and leave the cut? Oh, he's played the delicate little dink. It goes. It goes. Just got to be careful with the cue ball. And he's fine. And he's on the hill. And this match is over, regardless what happens. Well, at least give Bankster a ball in the break this time. Well, I think he's got something. Well, what was Albinari's prediction? 15-0. Well, it's not going to be that. Well, the art in every game, particularly this tight table, the art in this is the skill in finding the way out and working out how to get out. Oh, that's dangerous. That is incredibly dangerous what he's just done there. That was almost game, set and match. Look at the 8 ball. Well, it's still an open table. And the 2 yellows down this end are a problem, on the left hand side at the bottom of the table. The reds and the 2 reds and the yellows up the top are a problem. And that 8 ball is a problem if you start bumping balls around the table. This is my afternoon nap time because I want to fall asleep right now. Which I think I might do after this match is over. I might just have a quick nap. So Cobra's committed to the yellows. But this isn't a run-out table. Far from it. Well, Cobra's fluked a yellow into the side. And, well, it's a great chance to win the match if he can get the breakout on this yellow. And also, if he can get onto the other yellow up top right, that's is he going to miss the bump? Needs to miss that red. Well, that's no good. I think he's just going to play for position here and try and tuck the cue ball somewhere into the corner. Probably won't stop Bankster having a shot, which it doesn't. Well, I think Bankster's. There wouldn't be any harm in banking that red that's next to the red, the two reds and yellows, the one on the left side. It wouldn't be any harm in banking that if he's going to try and win the rack. And again, that cue ball could easily have caught that 8 ball. That was very dangerous doing that also. He's walking the tightrope here, Bankster. Now it should be game, set and match, definitely this time. Well, in the end, Bankster did well getting 4 racks. He should have had more if Cobra was more clinical early on without those errors. But when it comes to the more subtle things in this game, he was streets ahead of Bankster. Needs to bounce a wee bit. We'll have a quick look at the bracket when this is over, just to see everything confirmed. He's okay. So in the end, it is a comfortable 11-4 victory for Cobra. He survives on the OneLoss side. Bankster's participation is now over, so he can get to bed. Quick look. So no more matches on the schedule. Check the bracket. And where the hell is Cobra? There he is. So Cobra's through. He now plays Fast Eddie. One Pocket Slim's got a wait on the possible result between MC Clarkey and Zangetsu. And the winner of that will play LS3. And meanwhile, again, on the winner's side, round 4 we've got Albinario up against Semi-Pro. We've got Stubb, who is through to round 5. He's through to the hot seat. So who's Stubb going to be playing in the hot seat? Well, something's going to have to give between those two, Albinario and Semi-Pro. So that we've got that to look forward to. And what we'll also have a quick look at is Friday Night 9-Ball and see how that is. Larry's certainly in this week. He's made sure of that. Where are we? See how many's in. Spectre Dawn no doubt will have signed up if I can get this to work. And there you go. We've got Bankster, Coldest Pillow, Larry, Serganesh, Spectre Dawn, Spudboy, Tamsin again, Travelling TT. So 2, 3, 4, 7. We'll get 8 in already. So there's Only 8 spots left between now and 7 o'clock tonight. So that is us up to date, folks. That is your afternoon World Championship match. Cobra goes through 11-4, and Friday night 9 ball to come. So that is it. I'm off for a nap. Is Jan in the room this time? Yes, he is in the room playing Emmett. I don't know whether he's giving him a beauty. I wonder if we'll just pop in and have a quick look at that. Hang on. Let's have a wee look at this before we go. Yeah, you've got to make sure you're getting in, Spud Boy. Let's see what happens here. Well, he's a bit jammy, this Jana. That was a good bank on the 4 ball. That could have done me rolling through a bit further. Right, that's it, folks. I'll thank you for your company again. Oh dear. Well, that's why it needed to run through a bit further, didn't it? So I'll see you later on tonight if you're going to join us. So until then, I'll bid you good afternoon. Take care, and we will see you again soon.